Hey, yeah, today was a bit of a fail today. Actually, it was a massive fail. So, I had to go early to, so this morning I woke up early to, because I had some event that I had, and I had to drive an hour to the event. And I was there all day, and there was like a huge luncheon. I was looking forward to the luncheon because I was kind of hungry by the time, so had to be there by 9 o'clock, and it took an hour to get there, and by noon I was starving, and so that's the thing with this thing. It's like this experiment. It's hard to come up with snacks that you could take. I guess I should have had even so maybe I should have had like a huge breakfast before leaving, but it was kind of early in the day, and that takes a few that takes more planning than I can do in the morning. So all I had in the morning was coffee plus 1 tablespoon of fish oil, like my bulletproof coffee, but with fish oil. And then that was it. So at least that was more zero carby. And then I got there, so like by noon I was starving. I was looking forward to this luncheon. Unfortunately, this luncheon was sort of a letdown because it was a whole, it was a huge spread. It was impressive, but there was a lot of fruit. There were a lot of like platters of fruit, and there were a lot of platters of salad. But it's just weird salads with which is kind of like just sweet salads. There were a few platters of salads, and then there were a few platters of pasta. So it was like, I was like, progressing along, being like, okay, fruit, salad, pasta. And then the end was like, okay, it was like sandwiches. Like even then it was not it was like sandwiches, croissant sandwiches, and like maybe a little rolls with meat. So there was pretty much no meat there. No, there was no substantial meat there. I was like, oh god. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat whatever they have, because it was the planning was a little bit. It was like, yeah, because I had to be, I felt I had to be there be there at the luncheon to to socialize with the others, and I was like, I was not going to be hungry and socialize and staring over food that I can't eat. So I just ate a whole bunch of stuff, and then of course there's a whole table of dessert. So it was, I guess, typically American, and why, you can see why, you can see why we have an obesity crisis in a way, because it's like our food is not very it's not very sustaining. That's all I can say about that. So it's it's either fatty and sugary or so or so if you want it to be like if I wanted to be like, okay, cut out the protein and just be like, just eat healthy, then there was not much there at the table. I could eat just very small portions of, but anyway, but whatever. That was today, and I had that. So on the good side, it means that this turkey I have, I'm just going to roll that up into a burrito or something. I'm just going to roll that into a burrito and like finish that. And I guess that was a bad thing about it. It was like I was hoping that, you eat all this, foods, but then I'll be able to hit my protein macros. But no, that was virtually, with all this food, that's the thing. With all this food, I couldn't even hit, I couldn't even hit a decent amount of protein to eat a decent amount, even hit a decent amount of protein. I don't mean that I would have taken sandwiches and removed the cheese and taken a slice of deli meat off, and that's just ridiculous. So so anyway, but that's fine. It's I guess that's fine, because like last night as I was trying to sleep, I think I was having issues with my electrolytes, so I had like wake up in the middle of the night and prepare myself like some broth and some salty stuff to get myself back to sleep. So this is why, and this is another reason why I was not so keen on like getting into ketosis, because I don't like having to mess around with. I don't like having to drill around with how much electrolytes I need. It's not something I care. It's not something I care about, and it's not something I've been able to figure out easily. That's another thing. It's not been something I've been able to figure out it's not been something I've been able to figure out easily how to do. Because I say some people, they know all they need to do is to drink is some, like, some broth, and then they'll be fine for the day. But for me, it's like, even with the broth and like stuff, it doesn't quite it doesn't quite work out for me. And probably because it's like, when you go to the gym, you're losing more than you think, than the average person who is not going to the gym. So you have to take that into account, and it's hard for me to like figure out how much I need. So but anyway, that's fine. I'm not too bummed. I'm not bummed out. I don't care. So like, tomorrow will be a new day, and I'm going to start with it, and then I'm going to continue on start with my low carb, not low carb, I'll go to zero carb. So tomorrow will be more ribeye. Hopefully the turkey will be done today, because I really need to get my protein macros. I have no protein macros. Like, the protein I have there is, I do literally, yeah, I have no protein. I have not hit my protein macros for the day, so I'll eat my turkey and get that done. And then tomorrow will be steak, and if I finish the turkey up, then I'll have to, yeah, I guess if I finish that turkey, then I'm going to have to cook some more. I'm not looking forward to cooking some more. Well, actually I do, because because like last Christmas I had I bought a whole roll of pork skin, which you can get at the Hispanic groceries. There's a Superior Grocers near me, and I can, you can get that, like, especially around Christmas time, around festivity times, they sell like pork skin. So I had a whole roll of pork skin, and I think at the time that I was still doing keto, I was like, oh, next pork skin, I can make myself some pork rinds with it. So now with that whole roll, and this whole roll is nice because the fat had been trimmed off the skin already, so it was just literally the skin. So now I went on YouTube and like looked on how to do pork rind, and like looked at a few pork rind videos. So I am going to be preparing that this week, and that's an involved process, because first of all you have like boiled pork skin, scrape away the rest of the fat still attached to the skin, and then cut them into pieces, put it in the oven a bit to dry out, like very, like, as if you're making like jerky. So put it in the oven to dry out. And then after that is done, so that would take 2-3 days. And then after the 2 or 3 days of drying out, then you fry it. So I'm not too keen on actually going through this process, because then when I think about, oh God, I have to fry it, so then I'm going to have to like have a huge oil mess, and I would actually have to buy the oil, because I don't feel like wasting my coconut oil to do this. So I might probably have to go to the grocery store and get some canola oil or something. So that's a whole like 2, 3, 4 day process of like just to get pork rinds. It's just, I can see why pork rinds is a little bit expensive, but yeah, but I'm going to have a whole bunch of pork skin. I think it's like 1.5 pounds worth of pork skin to like deal with. So that'll be interesting. I will show you the finished product. That'll be in a few days. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow.